Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Danii, and today's video I'm gonna show you how to crochet the beautiful harvest shawl. This is the perfect shawl to transition from spring to summer or to transition from fall to winter. So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. And I also want to mention that to make this project you need to know how to crochet the basics, and you need to know how to read a crochet chart. So now let's see what you need to make this pattern. And I'm gonna be using a 6mm crochet hook. This is from Clover. I'm gonna also be using a scissors, tapestry needle, and yarn. This is 100% cotton, category 4 worsted weight. And as you can see, I'm using a larger crochet hook, and this is because I want my shawl to have like a very nice fall, a very nice, I don't know, a flowy vibe. So I want it to be a little bit more loose. And you will also need a tassel maker, but this is not mandatory. As you can see here in the original pattern, I used fingering weight, and I crocheted this one with a 4mm crochet hook. So you can definitely see that it's loose because of that reason, because I used a large crochet hook, a larger one than the yarn calls for. And in here you can see this is a diagram, and I'm gonna leave the link to the Clover blog in the description box below. This video is in collaboration with Clover, so thank you so much, Clover, to partnering with me in this video. And I'm gonna leave the diagram in the Clover blog, so you can go ahead and check it out. It's gonna be linked in the description box below. Okay, so row number 1, we are going to make a slip knot. Chain 3, and throughout the entire pattern the chain 3 will count as a double crochet. So now double crochet in the first chain. So now we have 2 stitches. So now row number 2, chain 3, turn your work, and now we're going to increase in this very first space. So double crochet 1, and then double crochet again in the same space. So if we count the chain 3, then we have 3 double crochet in the same space. So now let's go to the next stitch and double crochet right there in the 3rd chain. This is our mini triangle. Now we're gonna go on to row number 3. So chain 3, turn your work, and in this side we're not gonna increase because we're just increasing in one side of the shawl. So we're gonna go in the next space available here and double crochet 1, then double crochet in the next stitch available here, and in the last stitch, which is the chain 3 from the previous row, we're going to increase. So in here we double crochet 2 in the same space. There's 1 and then 1 more. that is row number 3. As you can see in here, this side is gonna grow straight and this other side is gonna have all the increases. So we're going now to row number 4. So chain 3, turn your work and increase in this very first space. So double crochet 1 and double crochet 2 in the same space. And now double crochet in each available space. So now row number 5, chain 3, turn your work, we go into the next space available, double crochet 1 and then double crochet in each available stitch until we get to the end, and there is where we are going to increase. So I think you guys already know how we're working in here. So like I mentioned before, we're doing increases just in one side of the shawl, and this is going to create that asymmetrical look of this shawl. So in here we have the increase. Now row number 6, increase in this very first space and then continue double crochet in each stitch available. And this is row number 6. You're going to do this all the way up to row number 12. Okay, and continue the same sequence. Remember, one side it's gonna go up straight and the other one it's gonna be with the increases, and this is how the shawl is gonna be growing. So go ahead and crochet until row 12. In here's my triangle. This is how it's growing. Again, one side has increases and the other one doesn't. So now we got in here to the point where we have this little sequence, and we're going to repeat this sequence over and over and over again until we reach the size of our shawl. So okay, let's go to row 13. We're going to chain 3, turn your work, and now we're gonna crochet the cross stitch. This is the straight side. So in here we skip, and then in the next one we double crochet. So not in here but the next one, and then we're gonna double crochet in the one that we just skipped. And there we have the cross stitch. We will do it again. Skip one, and in the next one we double crochet, and then we double crochet in the one that we just skipped. And I'm gonna do it one more time. Skip one and double crochet in the next one, and then double crochet in the one that you just skipped, and continue all the way down, and I'll see you at the very end and I'll show you how to do it in here. So here we are at the very end. We have one double crochet and the previous chain. So this one is an increase, remember? So in here we're going to double crochet the first stitch, and then we're gonna double crochet in the previous one that we skipped, and it's a little bit hidden in here. So double crochet right there, and then we have the one, the extra one from the increase, right? So we go back to the chain, the previous chain, and we double crochet again. And there you go. That's your first row of cross stitch. Now the next row will be same as the previous one, just double crochet. So row 14, chain 3, turn your work, and in here we have an increase. So 2 double crochet in the same space plus the chain, that's 3, and then continue double crochet all the way down. And now for row 15 we're going to do the mesh stitch. I think that's how it's called. So instead of chaining 3, we're going to do an extra one, so 4. Turn your work, and now we are going to skip the next stitch and double crochet in the next one, but the extra chain that we just did, it will count as a stitch, right? So for the next one, like right here, so now we chain again, chain 1, and we skip this one and double crochet in the next one. So chain 1, skip, and double crochet in the next one. And we're gonna continue doing this all the way down, and I'll show you how to do it at the end. So in here we are at the end, we have the chain from the previous row, and this is an increase, so we have to make 2 stitches. So we chain 1, that's the first, and then double crochet in here, and that's the second one. Now we're going into row 16, which is another row of double crochet, same as the previous row. So now chain 3, turn your work, increase in this very first space, so double crochet 1 and double crochet again, and in here we have the space that counts as a double crochet, so double crochet in that space right there, double crochet in the next one, and then again in that space, and so on. Continue doing this all the way down. And here we are at the end. Remember that we chain 4 in here, so that will count as a double crochet. don't forget, and then the chain. So now row 17, we're going to do another cross stitch row. So chain 3, turn your work, and you already know how to do this, so we're gonna repeat the same cross stitch row. So double crochet 1, and then double crochet in the one that we just skipped, and you're gonna continue doing this all the way through row number 17. And this is why I think it's very, very important to have the diagram next to you so you can follow along, and also you can make sure you are doing the correct amount of stitches, the correct amount of increases, etc. Alright, so this is row 18. We're going to chain 3, turn your work, and now we're going to double crochet all the way down. In here we have the increase, and this is double crochet all the way down. So as you can see, we're doing one row of the nice the different stitches, and then another row of double crochets. So we are gonna do it like that throughout the entire pattern. And now we're going to crochet the last row of this sequence, which is the bubble stitch. So if you're familiar with the bubble stitch, you already know how to do it, but I'm gonna show you just in case. So in here we're gonna chain 2, and this is gonna count as our first half double crochet. Okay, so there's 1. We're going into the next space, half double crochet, that's 2. Next one, 3, 4, and one more, that's 5. And now we're going to make the bubble stitch. So to do that, you're going to yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's 1. Yarn over, yarn over, pull through 2, that's 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, that's 3. That is 4, and one more, that is 5. And now yarn over and pull through all those loops. And now to close, we're just going to double crochet in half double crochet, sorry, in the next space available. Pull it a little bit so we have the very nice bubble, and that's the first half double crochet. So now we're going to do another one, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to repeat the bubble stitch. We're gonna have 5 half double crochet in between bubble stitches. And the other thing that you need to know is that the more loops that you make, if that makes sense, the bigger your bubble will be. So definitely I will leave that up to you. I did 5 in here, but in my original pattern with the fingering weight yarn I did 8. So that will depend of the yarn that you're using. So continue doing this, and I will see you when we finish row number 19. So in here I have my last bubble. Now we have a 1 half double crochet, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, because we have the increase in here. Four and 5, and this is the last row of our sequence, and then the next row will be the same as row number 12, which is just double crochet. In here is very important that you look very closely to every single stitch. You don't want to make more or less. Remember that in between bubbles we have 5 stitches, and then the bubble counts as another stitch, so you definitely don't want to miss a stitch. Be very careful and count every single row, and then we're going to repeat the pattern again. So row number 12, and then we do row 13, 14, 15, all the way up to row 19, and you're gonna repeat this over and over again until you reach the size of the shawl that you like. And so remember that I'm gonna leave the diagram in the description box below. That's gonna take you to the Clover blog. And here you can see this is my triangle, and here I have the 3 corners, and this is how the triangle is gonna start growing. And now I'm gonna use my Tassel Maker to make a few tassels to put on my shawl. I think it's a very nice detail to every single shawl. I really like it, so it's totally up to you. Obviously, if you don't like tassels, that's okay, you can just leave it as it is. But if you love tassels the same way that I do, then I highly recommend making a few tassels for your shawl. And once you are done with your tassel, all you have to do is attach them to your shawl, and there you go. This is the harvest shawl. I really hope you guys enjoy this pattern. If so, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media. I'm always sharing everything there. Please tag me in your pictures if you make this beautiful pattern, and remember that you have all the links and the materials in the description box below. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!